Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Smurfs. And this is the latest adaptation of the Smurfs, which, I watched a lot as a kid. And this is the third iteration where that first one you had Neil Patrick Harris and live-action Hank Azaria as Gargamel, and then you had The Lost Village, which was, from what I remember, completely animated. I don't remember much of that movie. But here, it's mostly animated, and then fleeting moments of live action, which honestly kind of feel pointless at that point. Why did you even have them in there? Just focus on the animated world. But I didn't make this movie, and those are some of the questions I had with this. But this is from director Chris Miller, who has worked on, a lot of DreamWorks films, and this is now a Paramount picture as Sony lost the rights here. And we have Rihanna as Smurfette, John Goodman as Papa Smurf, and Nick Offerman and Kurt Russell as his brothers, because he has brothers. And you have James Corden as No Name Smurf, because he didn't find his thing yet, and he winds up finding some magic and winds up changing the lives of these Smurfs forever when he opens up a portal and Razamel steals Papa Smurf and sets off this whole entire chain of events centered around magic books and evil wizards and the Smurfs. Which honestly felt refreshing that this film actually leaned into Smurfs are fantasy and weird stuff. Do that. We don't need them to be going all across like America and New York City, and they did go to Paris here for reasons, which that could easily just been set up somewhere else, but reasons. And this is indeed a musical on top of that. And let's start with the beginning, where you have a very modern Rihanna-esque kind of musical number where I had Papa Smurf gyrating at me and having hard stares at the camera, and I did not like it. The moments where this film are, the moments where it's really leaning into trying to be more modern and hip with its pop culture references and its music, it feels weird. I don't need Smurfs gyrating at me. I really don't. I don't think the kids do either. And when it's trying to be live action, it feels needless, especially when there's so little moments of it in this film that could have just been explained that they're going to different magical places. But whatever. Those things don't work about the film. Also, the film rushes through a lot of plot points and narrative beats, and they're here to here to here to here to here. But there are things that do work about it. Mostly the voice cast, I think Rihanna does a fine job. James Corden leans into him singing more and not being annoying and trying to be funny, so I appreciated that. Alex Winter as Hefty Smurf I actually enjoyed quite a bit. You even had J.P. Karliak, who played Razamel and Gargamel. I think he did a fine job there. Even Dan Levy plays Razamel's intern henchman, who is actually kind of a fun character. The best character in the whole entire film, easily, is Mama Poot. And you're probably wondering, what the hell's a Poot? And you meet the Poots, who help out the Smurfs, and they're these weird little fuzzy ball things, and Natasha Lyonne kills it as Mama Poot, who totally has a thing for Nick Offerman's character Ken, who's Papa Smurf's brother. And that might be a little weird, but honestly, it worked fine for me. But Natasha Lyonne is so much fun whenever she's on screen and really captures the energy of what this movie really is. And those elements work. I like the fantastical elements, despite the fact that they get overly convoluted and so much of this film is expositional, just dumping things at you. And it has some fun gags. I'll admit, I laughed and I enjoyed every time they had sound effects Smurf making sound effects. The little gags work. And some of the more musical-feeling musical numbers worked within the context of this movie. And, there's some other running gags where it's just okay, that was actually kind of funny, and I appreciated that. There are some, some humor elements here that do fall flat. This isn't a terrible movie. This isn't a good movie. It is a perfectly serviceable Smurfs movie that, with some fine-tuning, could have actually been a good movie. It's 92 minutes. I do feel like there's some moments where it's just like, it's so up and down with its plotting and stuff like that, that sometimes it does actually feel a little tiresome and boring. But in general, this has good energy. It has some electricity. It has some fun music. It has some fun characters. And at the end of the day, there's been much, 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 much worse Smurfs adaptations than this. It's just yet another, middling, disappointing Smurf adaptation too. But, you know what? The kids will have some fun with it. The kids in the theater did when I watched this. And, you know what? I found some fun too. But those are my thoughts on Smurfs. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.